Well, here's where I had the idea earlier for a tool. And when I came down, I started to design this. It was on my mind, and I thought I should do it. So what I did was I took the original side plate and I increased the thickness of it, and then I added the center core, the piece that is going to be the brass insert, so that I could wind the wire around something and then use the tracks for the for how I would hold the wire. Maybe this will help a little bit, so you can see. And I've added the outlet part to both sides. It's on both sides now, so I can bring the wire down here or down here, depending if it's on the right or the left side. And then, of course, this is the opening for the pivot point. You just change that. So you would start by threading the wire up here, and then you would want to bend it and then follow this track and push it down with your finger or the tool, and just push it down into that track so that it follows that formation around this, you see, down and around, and then over and then around here, and then you're done. Or in this case, if you want to do the right one, you would slide it up into there and then route it this way, the opposite direction. And that's how you could form the two. So I created that, then I created the part. I actually have printed it already. So it's come out of the, I can't hold on to anything anymore. It has come out of the printer. So those center pods are stationary, and I'm going to wrap the wire around that. What I was trying to do was wrap the wire in a fixture with the brass pieces sticking out, but it just got where I couldn't keep everything together. I couldn't keep my distances. It was really a pain in the tail. So I think this is going to give me a much more accurate template to use, and I'll be able to hold the wire in and thread it through more accurately and faster is my idea. Just zooming around, take it out, set it aside, make another one, set it aside. I got two. Go get and then I want to, okay, now push it up in here and then wrap that around and do that 2 times. Now I got enough for one truck, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. So two from this side and 2 from this side. That's how it will work. That's what I'm hoping to be able to achieve with this tool. Then I can determine, I can print this readily and hand it out with wire so that other people can just do their own. I don't have to do this. That's the idea. Oh, and something else I had come up with, I learned this looking at the pivot trucks. And if you look at this pivot truck, it's actually lower than this one. You can see that, right? And that's causing some of this height problem back here when I go to hook up. So I'm going to be experimenting and learning what happens here to determine which one of these, the high one or the low one, do I need to print. Okay, so that was that morning. This afternoon, I was working on my board, for the reverse motor on trigger, and I came up with the size of the part. The smallest one I could make was this. This is the one. And I measured it, and then I put in how much space is, this is how much space I had in the cavity, and then I came up with the space to make it, and then I came up with there's a problem. I don't have enough room. So then I got detailed, right? I took out the various parts and started to set them aside and came up with fitting them and sliding them and figuring out how I can better fit them in. And so I end up with a solution where this is the rectifier, this was the socket, and that's the capacitor. And I came up with a means of setting them in where I overlap the connector with the rectifier, because there's enough room thick-wise. 20 and 6 and 14 is 20, so there's room. It's line to line, but there's room. Then width-wise, I got plenty of room. This comes out to be less than 28, and I had 30 actually. So anyway, now I have a design for that. Then I had to go back to my CAD file here and find the firebox assembly for this engine, and I just made a box. You know, you're not going to see it, you won't know it's there, it's not changing anything very much. So there, instead of this rounded shape here on top, you can't even really see because it's black on black and there's no light and all that. Here we go. I'll get it over here, you can see it. See how it's rounded on top? Now what we're going to have is this square-ish shape, and then I went to the back side and hollowed it out. So I now have a cavity right there. Is a cavity that we can use to store the motor on signal, and then the brushes would still come in underneath it between the firebox. That's the idea. Anyway, how I end up doing this, I don't know. Get over here. Now go this way. All right, now let's go this way. Okay, there you get an idea. So there's the cavity, and what I'm gonna print one right now since I've just cleaned these parts off, and I'm gonna print this one at low density so I can get it faster, and then I can pursue the mounting. I'm gonna put in a boss with a screw hole. I think I'm gonna put tabs up here so the board would just slide up and be held. And then over here, I just need one on one side or the other, a little stud with a threaded hole, and I'll drill a hole in the PC board and I just screw that in. That's all I need to hold it. It'll be fine. It doesn't get a lot of motion. And it's gonna have a single socket that comes from the motor, goes to the relay, and then goes down to the LEDs on the front. And then that will give us puff and chuff and lighting off when the motor's on. So I think that's going to work out just fine. And now that I'm ready to print, while that's printing, I'm going to address the ash pan problem. And I have one here with me, and I'm going to fit it and test it and make some adjustments to this so that we have the clearance we need for the trailing truck, and we have a good fit up here for all the other bits that we want to put in. And I think that can be cleaned out a little more. I may want to lower this a little bit, I don't know. But I also think that taking this tab off of here and putting it on here might work better based on the height of the assembly. But I want to verify my truck height, making sure I've got all this really understood well, and I can make the turns with the longer piece and whatnot. Then I'll decide on. Then I'll do the truck. Then I'll do the final fit of the ash pan. So I got a few things to do, but this is all downhill now. Once I mount this board into that, a whole lot of things get easy. I wanted to let you know, when I assembled this into the royal blue chassis, which I have done over there, I took this off and it just slid in like it owned the place, like this is home now. It went right in. And I put my screws in and I align side to side, and the stack is dead center of the royal blue, drilling out the opening as it exists in the casting, okay? So I've got the fit well and the ability to slide it in well. So I'm pretty confident we're gonna be in good shape. Now print this, build the board, monkey with that, and then we're ready to go to final assembly. And all along the way I'm printing parts, so we're still printing. Okay, I'm going to pull this up and print. 3D print, yes. Okay, and we're going to town. Now I'm going to clear all this stuff here out. We don't need any of this extra stuff. These are parts that were left over. I should have cleaned them out, but I didn't. Firebox. 2014 is the Royal Blue Extended Range, right? November 24 was the November of 24 is the thing. Okay, so now I got to put it down flat. So place on surface, boom, place on surface. Now I'm going to add some structure to it. I think probably 3. Let's try that. That looks pretty good. Looks like I've got it in there. I can be able to peel it out pretty good. Okay, now I'm still on 2, so I'm in good shape. Let's check my settings. I know we said the infill, we don't need 100%, so let's take it down to maybe 30. We can get it faster. I'll even go 20. We'll get it faster, and it will be easier to test fit and then add the structure and then print it at higher density. So now we're ready. I'm going to send the printer over to a machine, and the machine is on port number 2 today. Okay, now we're going to print. He's attempting a connection. That's impossible. What is this? What are you doing here? You're just sitting there. You're waiting. Connect. Bingo. There it is. It's in the printer now. Okay. It's a little slow on me. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to let it go and go to work on building the, doing the ash pan and building the board. Okay. Talk to you later.